Hi friends, this topic of discussion is a summary of She Stoops to Conquer by Oliver Goldsmith. In this session, I am going to discuss not only the summary of the play but also a character list. First, we say about the author Oliver Goldsmith. Oliver Goldsmith was born on 10th November 1730 in Ireland, the son of a clergyman in the church, a boy full of warm imagination, regarded as a stupid at school, grew up in a gentle poverty, in rural isolation in a society. As a young man, Oliver Goldsmith was studied in Interior Trinity College and the Edinburgh, Scotland to study medicine. He visited France, Switzerland, Italy like a cheerful beggar, performed flute for travelling. Then he returned to London as a physician at Southwark but failed for living. Some of the notable works of Oliver Goldsmith is 1762, The Vicar of Wakefield, The Citizen of the World, 1764, The Traveller, 1764, The Good Natured Man, and 1770, The Deserted Village, and the 1773, She Stoops to Conquer. She Stoops to Conquer is a play. It is set in Britain just prior to the American Revolution. Let me see some basic plots of the play. Upper class man meets upper class girl thinking she is a barmaid. Upper class man meets father of upper class girl thinking he is the innkeeper of the inn. Women with inherited jewels and man secretly love each other instead of woman loving son of upper class man's wife, keeping jewels out of the family. Second, we see about the major characters of the play. The first character is Charles Marlowe, the central male character, who has set out to the court the young attractive lady Kate Hardcastle. Charles Marlowe is a well-educated man. The second one is Miss Kate Hardcastle. She is the daughter to Mr. Hardcastle and the play's stooping to conquer heroine. Third one is Tony Lumpkin. He is the son of Mrs. Hardcastle and stepson of Mr. Hardcastle. Tony Lumpkin is a mischievous boy and he is an uneducated playboy. And last one is Constance Neville. She is called Miss Neville in the play. Niece of Mrs. Hardcastle, an orphan whose only inheritance is a set of jewels in the care of her aunt. Her aunt wishes her to marry Tony Lumpkin, but Neville wants to marry Hastings. Let me see about the summary of the play. Act 1 opens with Squire Hardcastle and his second wife Mrs. Hardcastle bickering. Mr. Hardcastle teases his wife about her age and her son Tony Lumpkin, whom she had with her first husband. Tony is a mischievous man with love for drink and trickery, but not much else. Mrs. Hardcastle is quite determined that her spoiled and rather stupid son shall marry her niece Constance Neville. If they marry, she will be able to keep in the family Miss Neville fortune, caskets of valuable jewels. Miss Neville and Tony Lumpkin, however, can only agree on one thing: they hated each other. Miss Neville is secretly pledged to another young man, Mr. Hastings, who is friends with Mr. Marlowe, the son of Mr. Hardcastle's good friend, Sir Charles. Hardcastle wants Marlowe to marry his charming daughter Kate, but Marlowe suffers from extreme anxiety when in the presence of young ladies of equal social standing and is barely able to speak. He suffers no such fear when in the presence of women of lower caste. However, unsuccessfully flirts with barmaids, servants, and the like. Hardcastle family are expecting the arrival of Marlowe and his friend Hastings. However, Hastings and Marlowe have lost their way and stop at the village inn to get their bearings. Tony Lumpkin is drinking within and hears of the men's plight. Being the mischievous fellow that he is, he seizes the opportunity, along with his friends, of misguiding Hastings and Marlowe and causing much merriment. He tells the men that they are so lost that they must spend the night at a local inn and directs them to the Hardcastle house, which he is highly recommends if they will excuse the eccentricities of the owner and his family. Neither young Marlowe nor Squire Hardcastle sense that both are victims of the hoax and dully make their way to the Hardcastle house. believing it to be an inn. When they arrive, they treat Hardcastle as an innkeeper, while the squire is much incensed at the bold and important behavior of his friend's son. Young Hastings, as soon as he sees Constance, puts two and two together. Constance and Hastings agree to keep Marlowe in ignorance and pretend that Constance and Kate, completely by coincidence, happen to be stopping the night at the inn. When introduced to Kate, Marlowe can find the little to say and stumbles through half conversation. In his embarrassment, he never once looks at her face. It is not surprising, therefore, that later in the evening, when he sees her going about the house in the plain house dress her father insists on, he takes her for the barmaid. She encourages the deception in order to find out if he is really as witless as he seems. In her barmaid's guest, she is pleasantly surprised to find him not dumb, but indeed possessed of a graceful and ready wit. When she reveals herself as well born but poor relation of the Hardcastle family, he acknowledges his love for her. It is not until Marlowe's father Sir Charles arrives that the truth is revealed. Marlowe, unaware of the barmaid's true identity, claims he feels no love for Kate Hardcastle and dismisses any possibility of a union between them. Kate, however, claims that he has declared his love for her. She then sets about revealing the truth by instructing her father and Sir Charles to hide in the room where she is about to meet with Marlowe. Dressed in her plain clothes, Marlowe makes no secret of his feeling for her and all is revealed. While all this is going on, Miss Neville and Hastings are plotting to elope. However, they cannot leave without constant rightful possession of jewels and they enlist help of Tony Lumpkin to achieve this. Tony is only too happy to help, since the disappearance of Constance will put an end in his mother's meddling in this love life. All does not go according to plan through having successfully retrieved the jewels from his mother. Tony Lumpkin gives the jewels to Hastings, who sends them to Marlowe for safekeeping. Marlowe then gives the jewel to servant to stow away securely. The jewels end up back with the keeper. Mrs. Hardcastle, in the end, Hastings and Miss Neville are forced to come clean and declare their love. It is not until Tony Lumpkin refuses her hand that she is free to marry, however. He does not believe he can do this until he is come of age. Mr. Hardcastle then reveals that he is already of age, a fact that Mrs. Hardcastle has been keeping from him, and the play ends with two sets of lovers rightfully betrothed to another. Thank you.